Are you ready to increase your retention and revenue and convert website traffic to clients? Then you're ready for Maya. Maya is a marketing and client recruitment software. Maya creates better business relationships by pairing the right clients with the right beauty professionals. How do we do it? A matchmaker. Your brand will have its own unique matchmaking survey. By pairing people based on their skill set, budget, personality, and lifestyle preferences, Maya creates lasting relationships that keep both sides coming back for more. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. Pair the right clients with the right beauty pros the first time. Visit joinmaya.com to get started.
Thank you for joining me. This is Katie Whitledge with Beyond the Technique podcast. We are talking today about, can you imagine your stylist earning $100,000 a year and working less than 3 days per week behind the chair? Well, I have a salon owner here who's done that. She's been recently recognized as a top 200 salon in North America, specifically for the compensation and benefits category. We have Erika Brown here, who is the founder and visionary behind Posh Salon and Boutique. They are nestled in the heart of Grand Junction, Colorado. She is here to share her incredible journey with us. I don't want to even wait to bring her to the mic. So without further ado, help me welcome Erica. Welcome to Beyond the Technique.
Hello, hello. Thank you
I'm
for
so
having me.
happy. Yes, I'm so happy you're here with me. We were just in Colorado together for the data driven event. So uh we're all fired up. We're fired up about all the things, right? And I'm excited that you're here. If everybody's listening and you can watch today's episode on Beyond the Techniques YouTube page, I encourage you to do that because it's fun to see the faces behind the names. You've been in the industry for some time, but you look so young, gorgeous. And so tell us, for you, how did you decide to get into the beauty industry?
I was reflecting back prior to us meeting today and kind of just thinking about my journey because I move fast. And so I struggle to look back, reflect, and I just keep going. But in the process of reflection, I have come from a long line of business owners. So, my dad was in finances, my grandpa was in finances, both owned their own companies. And it was something that truly just was ingrained in me, even as a small child. I actually pulled this up. I know no one can see this, but this is from my memory box. And it's hilarious because I was the oldest of five kids. And so my mom would take us yard sale shopping because that's how we got our clothes, and we were just trying to be thrifty. And we would go to yard sales every Friday, every Saturday, and I would see the greeting cards. That used to be a huge deal before digital and everything, and people were reselling just brand new cards, and I'm like, man, I'm going to start buying these cards and I'm going to resell them and mark them up and remarket the whole situation. I'm 10 at this point, by the way. And so I asked my dad to use his copy machine, and I'm like, "Can I take copies of these cards I bought? I need to do a catalog." And I fully built out catalogs with these cards that I had purchased and created promotions around them. And looking back at it now, it's so funny. It's such my personality, but I sold the cards to everyone. I actually got some jobs to make stationery. And from there, I was hooked. I was like, what else can I sell? I mean, I do have four siblings. Can I sell a sibling? What are my
Oh my
options?
gosh, it's so funny.
And so from there, I definitely knew I wanted to be a business owner. I didn't know in what capacity or even what field at that point. Fast forward to being 17, I was offered to go play volleyball in college, and I had given a verbal agreement, but I hadn't gone down to the school and signed everything. And I thought, maybe I should just look at the beauty school because I feel like if I go to beauty school and I'm very artistic, I can do that, and then I can open a salon and it's gonna be great. So, to my parents' disappointment at the time, I decided to actually enroll in cosmetology school. So, did a full 180. Everything that I had done in high school kind of just was like, nope, we're changing route. And so, with that, I loved cosmetology school. It was freeing to me to like have all of these options. And I'm like, there's so many things and ways that I can take this. I left school. I became a booth renter right away because I already had my little spreadsheet set up. I mean, that was the stuff that I loved. So I'm like, how can I just get this stuff figured out fast? And I did that for a year. And the salon that I was at ended up closing kind of like abruptly. And I was 20 at the time. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I'm not ready to open a business at this point. So they said, do you want to take this over? And it was massive amount of money. And I just said, no, thank you. I'll figure something else out. And so that brought me to find a cute little 400 square foot basically room that I knew I could cover and I could kind of just do my thing until I was ready to open a business. And I was shocked when four of the girls were like, well, I want to work for you. And then that kind of got me thinking, okay, well, I guess why not? Let's just get this started now. So we opened Posh in truly a 400 square foot little
Wow.
box. Our mixing station was in the bathroom. Like it was not pretty or glamorous. We had no space, but I put 3 chairs in there and a nail station. Like I maxed out our little guy, our little home. And so within 6 months, it was very obvious, like, wow, we've outgrown the space. But coming from the financial background that I didn't want to take on a bunch of debt. I was like, I think that's dangerous. I want to kind of just keep putting my toe in the water and seeing how this is going to work out. So we moved a couple doors down. And I had done so much work on my little first home, and I just had such an attachment to my little salon that I, at that time, flew out to LA and met with a bunch of vendors. And I was like, can I open a boutique in this little space? Like, why not? So I ended up bringing on a whole boutique, and that's how that part of my business started. And a couple doors down then was our larger salon, not by a ton, still maybe only 1,000 square feet, but we continue to just grow at such a rapid rate that a year later, when an opportunity on our main street became available, I was like, hey, let's do it. I jumped in. I took over. It was a booth rent situation, and all of my team were booth rental at that point. And that's when I really started to think, we're a team now. We can do this better. We can work together. And I went to Summit and I ended up switching my whole structure, changing over to employee-based W-2, bringing in some goals, some structure, and I immediately had to walk out. So I was like, okay, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Mm.
Um, yeah, here we are. So after the walkout, I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to start hiring my people. And at that point, I just found such good people, and what I was putting out, they were attracted to. And from there, we just really grew. And during COVID, we actually had an opportunity to move across the way to a 4,000 square foot salon. So we did a full build out during COVID. My poor husband, he's in the background getting all of this stuff ready for me. And I remember him telling me, please let this be the last move. Like, I love you, but I can't do another move with you. And so we have curated our space now that it is absolutely sustainable for growth, a lot of growth. And yeah, I guess here we are now. We're doing the thing. And I
Mm.
have nail techs, I have stylists, and now the boutique is in Salon, which is great. So all under one roof. Yeah, it's been
Oh my
great.
gosh. So you were this little entrepreneur at such a young age. I'm curious, when you first got in the industry, you mentioned that you rented right away, but it sounds like it was kind of an open concept salon. Like if a client walked in, they may not know that you were a renter because it wasn't like your own private suite. Is that right?
Yeah, yep,
And
it
you were
was.
presented the option to buy that business, but okay,
Yep.
got it.
I looking back, I am actually glad that I held
Oh,
off on that.
yep.
Because even with all of our moves, I've always been very financially focused. I didn't want to take on a team if I couldn't take care of them and make sure that financially they were taken care of. I think that that's reckless, and I never wanted to do that. So in the growth and in that phase, my whole team knew where we were at with saving for opportunity and saving for growth. And so every new opportunity that presented, I was able to pay for in cash and not have overhead. And the cool thing is when COVID happened, I just went on and I shut down all of our little subscriptions, and there was not $1 that I had to pay for during that time. And it was amazing because I'm like, I don't have to stress right now and I can still pay my team and I can enjoy this time, and I did, and that's when we did our build out for the new salon, and yeah, it worked out really well.
Well, let's go back to the walkout because data driven, one of the questions that our first speaker, Christopher, brought up is like, sit down if you've ever had a walkout, and like a ton of people sat down. When you went through the shift of going from having renters to commission W-2 team members, I imagine that those were very loyal people who had come, who said, I want to work with you, and started out renting with you and being with you. What did you do to grow the team and staying true to like your new vision of having that commission structure?
I That's such a good question. I was so young at that time, and I didn't have enough life experience, I guess, to really know what I know now, and I'm thankful for that because I think I would have been so scared that I may not have gotten back up after that lockdown. But in my brain, I'm like, "You know what? It's fine. We'll just recoup." I had one booth runner that stayed with me and converted over, and I kind of just doubled down on the systems that we put into place. I'm like, the people that are attracted to this and want a career, not a hobby or a job, they'll come. And they did. And I just stayed so true to that, even with the turnover and the challenges, because I told my team always like what I permit, I promote, and I'm not permitting this behavior. This is the new direction. This is where we're going. And I totally understand if you can't do that with me. And a lot of those conversations ended up with, yeah, I can't do that with you. But for every person that leaves, for every door that closes, there's been three more that have opened. And I mean, truly, just God has taken care of me and has blessed my family and the salon. And I'm just out there doing what I can. And he's right there with me behind all of that.
Amen. Well, what you've done is incredible. I think growing up, having that thrifted mindset of, not the debt, and now you have been recognized in compensation and benefits because here you have a commission salon team, a team now you've helped build into six-figure earners in less than 3 days. So let's dive into that. How in the heck are you pulling this off, Erica?
Absolutely. I quickly realized like I have these great people, but now they're having babies and now they're buying homes, and like life changed for all of us. We got older, and I wanted to have a place because I'm also a mom that I could have, a 2-day work week or a 3-day work week where you could make amazing money and still be a mom first and still take care of your family. And so I feel like bringing in the Summit systems at the time was just life altering. We started an associate program, and I loved it because I'm like, now I'm in control of the ecosystem in my salon. Now I'm growing these people right off the bat from how we function, how we do things here. And the success was amazing because not only did they help, the rest of my team reach incredible numbers, but they got that real life experience. They got compensated well during that time. And it was such a win. It was a win for the clients, the salon, and for my team. And so anytime I see a triple win like that, I definitely double down, and we still have our associate program. And multiple educators that are working with associates and continuing that on so that they can have full flex schedules and still make the money that they want to.
I mean, this is amazing. So everybody's going to be listening and thinking like, okay, how could they pull this off? Are they doing hair extensions? Are they all master level? Did it take them or more years to get there? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, great question. We actually don't offer any extensions in our salon company. We mostly focus on color and the nails, actually. So we are pretty dominant in the nail category in our town, which was challenging with the lower price point and trying to figure that all out. But we we offer the color to clients. Basically, how we set it up was that associates were doing retouches, toners, all of the things that the their educator or someone that had been around longer couldn't do, didn't have the time to do, but that money was still going onto their column because I wanted to give a reason for my team to teach my new people. Like, here is the benefit. You make so much more money and they get to learn from you. And then your clients get the celebrity experience. And so basically what we do is we run a double column. So there's certain services that the associate only performs, yet they're seeing their educator or whatnot. And that has allowed flexibility for us because then my team can grow into different services and different things, but my associates get the repetition that they so desperately need coming out of school, especially so that they can be rock stars behind the chair and feel really confident and doing actual clients versus mannequin work all day.
Okay, so if I'm picturing your point of sale, your booking system, if I'm stylist A, I have two columns of guests that go into my schedule, but one of those columns is kind of executed, like the work is being done by the associate that really is by my side. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. From day one, our associates come in and their very first day with us, they are foiling, they're touching hair. I'm not hands off with them because I think you have to jump in there and you have to like get on the horse. And even if you get bucked off, you got to get back on. And so my whole point was we've got to get them involved. We have to work on the technical, but also allow them to work on the soft skills. And that has allowed this to happen. I don't require anyone to work with an associate. It's really up to them. We have different career paths for either way that you choose to work. And so it's been such a beautiful thing because, again, when people are ready to have babies and get married or travel more, they'll come to me and say, "Okay, what do I need to do? How do I earn an associate? What does that look like?"
I
And
think
so
it's
it's
brilliant. Yeah. I think it's
yeah,
brilliant. So, and I'm laying this out because I know owners are going to be taking notes on this. So let's say stylist A has the two columns and clients go in column two, which means the work is being done by their associate that they oversee and coach and mentor. The guest who sees the associate, they are checking out and that ticket sale goes underneath stylist A's. Right? They're getting paid for that. So it's
yep,
huge for them. And then
yep.
here's my question. So does the client pay stylist A's price point or associate level price point? Just
Such
curious.
Yeah, no, such a good question. So they pay level A's price point because the way that we've set it up, and it's kind of like a doctor's office, you see a nurse and someone else checks your blood pressure, and there's just a lot behind the scenes that goes into that visit. Um, it's the same thing. So they are the expert, they are still formulating, but the actual like mechanical work is being done by their associate. And again, back to it's like root retouches, it's toners. We don't allow associates to do cuts. So there's definitely parameters around it. It's not a free for all. But it's cool because in our salon company, when we have a price increase or a promotion and that client maybe can't take that promotion with them, the first person they think of is, "Oh my gosh, is your associate on the floor yet? I loved them, everything they did on my hair the whole time I saw you. I loved it." And so now we're shifting these basic services from our higher level stylists that need more space for balayage and more complicated services and immediately filling up our brand new talent and with people that they love and already know.
On column A for stylist A, would you double book that column or no? Because the side by side is kind of your version of double booking. In other words, how do you stagger the timing so
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Good question. So my educators that work with an associate book on the 45. So, some of my educators work with 2 associates depending on, their ratio of chemicals to technical services, so we definitely look at that because at no point do we want the experience to be worse than if they just saw someone by themselves. So the whole concept is you have a team and you have all of these people working on you. We can get you out of here faster. We know that time is so valuable, and you can still expect amazing results, get all of the additional add-ons that you want, take care of you well, and everyone's happy.
In theory, and I might be looking at this the wrong way, could you just have one column where they're double booked, but and then you could say you could, but I separate the columns so that I can like really monitor what that associate's touching so that the double booking is really strategic to make sure we're not double booking advanced on advanced. Am I right
Right.
on this? I'm
Yeah.
so visual that I'm literally
Yeah.
picturing the booking system.
No, you're fine. I'm very visual as well, and so is my team. So when we're forecasting our day, what I found was when everyone was just in there, just in one big column and overlapping, it looked like not a fun day, you know? People were stressed out and like, "Oh my gosh, this is not gonna work." So when
Mm.
we separated it to 2 columns visually, people could see like what happens, this person needs to leave this salon by this time. This client is chosen to upgrade their services to this, so now we're doing this. It's kind of a dance, and I mean, all day long we're dancing and we're figuring it out, but because we're team-based, everyone's just there to have a fun day, have the clients win, and it works out.
I think it's awesome. That's why I'm asking so many questions because I'm so
No,
intrigued to figure it out. And I think other people listening are going to be really excited about looking into how they can pull this off too. So well done on that. I'm curious for you, Erica, as you look at your business because you do move so fast. You are a big dreamer, big thinker. What are your major objectives or goals that you have for your company in 2024?
2024 has me so fired up, I have to be honest. I have a one-year-old at home, almost 2, and so I kind of
Hey.
took a step back, just because I wanted to obviously focus on her and all of that stuff, but now I'm ready to just start, diving into stuff that I've kind of put on the back burner a little bit, which includes, automating my salon company more, better, setting up things that no one else is doing. So, for example, I'm kind of trying to tackle the parking on Main Street. Or on Main Street, and it's just that's a big nightmare for clients. And so I'm like, how can we create like a valet, like concierge experience for these clients where I will pay your parking bill. We will take care of it. We'll park your car if we have to, man. I don't care. But just thinking outside of the box for perceived value and guest experience is what I'm really doubling down on.
Ooh, I love that you just said that. I love it. I think it's so smart that you are thinking of those things to add value because it's 4,000 square feet. So you have plenty of room. It's interesting. We also heard at Data Driven, and I don't know if this is one of your goals or objectives or how this is going for you, but with your boutique, we've heard speakers share, hey, there are alternative ways to increase your revenue. So tell us a bit about your boutique. And by the way, I love that you do nails. I think it's an underrated area of beauty business that is can really be optimized in our market if done well and correctly. And there's a lot of people who don't know where to start with that. And so I think you've kind of cracked the code on being able to optimize and make a profit with nails. So congrats on that. When it
Thank you.
comes to your boutique, just tell us a bit about that because I feel like that is a really hard or separate birdie. And here's why I bring it up. Retail sales across the board for most salons are very, very low. They're down. And it's because we sometimes forget that we need to separate our businesses. We have actually two businesses. We are a retail company and we offer services in the beauty industry. And if we don't look at them as separate things where they have separate marketing campaigns and separate initiatives and goals and whatnot, then it is very hard to see that retail really rise to its full potential. So with you having an actual boutique, automatically your mindset goes into, I have this business within a business. Tell us about your boutique and how do you effectively or how do you approach strategically managing it and really building it up as its own thing within your business?
Totally. So actually when we were doing our build out for our new location, we have like these big windows and I chose to feature the boutique in both of those windows because my thought was we're on Main Street. So if we can have people come in and shop, like once they're in the door, it's game over. We gotta. But it was the getting them inside. So that alone has allowed us to just have so many people that would come in that wouldn't normally. And for the boutique piece, I have a compensation structure around that as well, because I want my team to be able to offer additional things, which after you get your hair done or your nails done and you're feeling awesome, like what better way to send them on their way than with a brand new outfit and all of the things that they need. They don't need to go to another store after this. And so thinking more along the lines of again client and what the client's needing has set us apart because we can, I guess, I don't know, customize their experience for them, including their clothes down to your toenails. And that was really important to me. I'm busy. So if someone can say, I'll get you a new wardrobe, your hair, your nails, and everything in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I'm sold. Sign me up every time. So that's who we're marketing. That's who we want to see in our chairs. And it has worked out really well.
I love it. I'm so curious. Again, I'm picturing your location. Um, do you have to create if so owners want to go down this path of having a boutique? What amount of square footage do you feel like is appropriate to allocate for that? And do you also have like a dressing room for them?
Yes, we do have a fitting room. We actually have 3 because we didn't wanna, again, take away from the shopping experience. There's still a lot of people that come in and just shop or vice versa. My square footage that I've always had for my salon has never gone past 600 for the boutique piece. I've been very intentional, and we actually order, every 2 weeks because I wanted a quick turn. I did not want stuff just hanging that especially for nails, we have clients coming in every 2 weeks. So the complication was how do we keep this looking fresh and new for every client that's re-walking into my doors in 2 weeks and not sit on, old retail. And so keeping it small has made us actually, I think, more successful because we've had to remarket, we've had to re-image everything. And then the way that we're ordering and our colors and the styles that are there, it's a huge thing, especially because it's in the front of the salon. So
I
it's
know
a lot
everybody's
to keep
listening,
everything
and
fresh.
yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. I like love it. I know for everybody listening that you're like, I want to see this salon. So don't worry. I have the link in our show notes for you to go to poshsalonandboutique.com. Their website's there, and also Erica's Instagram, so you can check out everything about her brand. I just love what you're doing. I literally could talk to you all day about it because it's so fun. But before we're done, what would be some final words of wisdom for owners who are looking for ways to really grow their team to help them achieve 6 figures and maybe even entertain adding just new elements to their salon that they hadn't thought of before?
I think this year moving forward, that's gonna be the name of the game is re-looking at systems and things that we're offering in a different light. What worked the last 10 years is just not gonna work moving forward. And so I would encourage anyone to just start small. I mean, especially with the boutique thing, it's so easy because you can order online once you've established relationships and you can really hear from your guests, like, what are they enjoying? What are they loving? We sell through so many things because we're hearing from our guests exactly what they're wanting. And so when we bring stuff in, we know, okay, it's gone. Like we've already sold it. We don't ever reorder anything, one of every size. It's very specific and very curated. And so I think it sounds like a big undertaking, but I would just encourage anyone that's been thinking about stuff to really look at different options and different opportunities, not only for their guests, but their staff to make more money as well.
Keep it up, Erica. You are amazing. And I so appreciate you being here. I can't wait for people to get a chance to hear this and be introduced to you. I've loved our time together. So thank you. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, and thank you all for joining us here week after week at Beyond the Technique. If you appreciate this platform, we would appreciate if you take a moment to leave us a positive review wherever you're listening so that more people like yourself will discover Beyond the Technique, where we are here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, everybody, have an awesome day and stay strong.